Okay, I am here. I am sewing. I just decided to hit the button because I can. So we'll see how this goes. got I got my two sides on. I'm back to work on the glow in the dark quilt. You guys might not have the greatest of views. That should work. That'll work. Okay, you guys. So I'm back to work on the mushroom quilt. I got lazy and didn't do much last almost 2 weeks now. Geez, a week and a half. Um, what you doing, buddy? He is supposed to be sleeping. Anyway, so right now I've got the inside section completely done. I added one side a week ago. Jenny, how you doing? So I added the one side a week ago. I just added the other side. So I've got my center done and I've got the two sides done. Now I need to do two of these. Oh, okay, well take your time. I'm not doing anything special. You know, it's the same thing I was doing when I was getting the two side pieces done. Okay, I got the center piece done. Then I added the one side. Well, I added the other side yesterday. And now I've got to do the top and the bottom. So that's going to be a strip of 5 each. And I'm just getting started on those now. I don't know that I'm going to have much to show today except for getting these strips done. I prepped everything. So now it's just to sit the hell down. So anyway, how you doing? Oh yeah, you can't talk. You can't type. Here, now that you're driving, let me ask you questions and make you type at me. Anyway, so yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I'm just gonna do the exact same thing that I did before. With my little pencil lines and making sure I'm just eyeballing everything. I'm not measuring anything. All I'm doing is making sure I got my starting point measured. And then after that, it's like, meh, I'll do what I'm doing. Anyway, yeah, I decided to start. I was going to start at 3, and then I realized I can just go ahead and instead of scheduling it, it's like I'm going to go instead of scheduling it and then sewing for 45 minutes, I can just start it right away. So anyway, take your time, don't rush. I'm actually gonna be here for a while because adding these last two pieces is going to be a special adventure. So Lisa is going to have to help me just because it gets really heavy for this last little stage, especially for a king size quilt. Anyway, I'm gonna get started. I'll see you once you're in the house. Okay, what the heck happened there? Of course, first thing I do is something shifts. There we go. Get over here. Get over here. I'm getting my foot. I'm getting my foot. Oh, hey, Cece. Oh, Persephone's here. Unless something hugely changes, I won't be reopening. the tariffs are a nightmare. The shipping is a nightmare. Well, actually, the tariffs totally settled down. The tariffs are totally doable now, but it's still like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm doing fine without it. Lisa's happier that I'm not doing it. I don't see going back. The tariffs have kind of settled down into their own thing, but now that the tariffs have settled down, now they're renegotiating the free trade agreement, which could be changing everything soon anyway. So I'm not coming back. Yeah, I mean, everybody's telling me, oh, poor Jenny. Jenny's not home yet. I just decided to go ahead and hit record just because I can. We might be having a special guest later. Well, in a few hours. Yeah, Lisa wants. You know what? I'm doing better. I'm doing better being retired. So, you guys are just looking at the side of my arm. There we go. There we go. There's a sewing machine to look at. I'm doing this 5 times, and then I get to piece these together. Yeah, I've been kind of AWOL. I was going to go live on either Monday or Tuesday, and I was just so tired. I never actually get sick. It's kind of weird. I don't actually get sick. I just get like really tired for a couple of days. So at first we're like, oh, I wonder why I'm so tired. But then Lisa got a touch of something too. So, oh, supper club. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, plus Lisa too. So anyway, plus Lisa too. Lisa. Okay, so once I'm doing these into a strip of 5. I'm gonna be sewing. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do the next one. Then I'm gonna be sewing 5 of these together into a big chain, and then I have to attach it to the quilt. But it's easier with the buddy system. The buddy system is you just have a guy, in this case, a girl, my wife, on the other side of the machine, just to not do anything, just to make sure that it's staying, to help guide the fabric. Once I'm out on this side, it's going straight down, right? There's a footstool there. That's the footstool. But it's easier if somebody is there just to help guide it, help guide the fabric. So Lisa is going to be helping me guide the fabric. Once I have these ready, once I have at least one of these ready to attach, Lisa's going to be on the other side because it gets really long and heavy after a while. So if I'm up for continuing, which I think I will be, then she is going to be, I'm just going to keep the camera going and she's going to be hanging out with us for a bit. Tornado. Ooh, no, we haven't. Apparently we had really bad weather calling for water spouts out past Vancouver over the water, but no, we've actually had pretty good weather lately. Why do I keep moving that over there? We've been having pretty good weather, so I'm kind of happy with it. Of course, we're under like stage 2. We're under like massive water restrictions. Everybody's kind of pissed because we have the World Cup. World Cup is starting in Vancouver. I guess they've already had the first game here. And everybody's like, it's like, yeah, you want us to restrict our water so that you have it for the tourists. So there's a little bit of hard feelings from some people, but we don't know. We get all of our reservoirs fill up from snow melt from the mountains. So if there's not enough snowpack, then we do have to think ahead on our water here. So anyway, yeah, so Cece's going to a supper club. I would love to do something like that. They've got to have something like that around here, but Around here would just be, well, they actually do. They do it. There's a group that gets together for brunch at the one thing, but they're always doing it in the middle of the afternoon. No, we got it's beautiful weather right now. We had some rainy craptastico off and on the last couple of days. Right now, they're saying we should be able to see the northern lights tonight. Oh, I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm waiting for reviews. What is wrong with you? You were sound asleep 2 seconds ago. No, you were. No, we're done. It's all good. Nope. Well, looks like we're going to have one of those days. If we tolerate the barking, he'll give up and go away. If we tolerate the barking, he will eventually give up and go away. And I'm going to try and do that because actually I'm going to bribe him and then we'll see what happens. Because he's already been to the bathroom. He doesn't have to go. You just want to because you're a big bum. Come here. Let's get you something to chew on. Ooh, that might work. Oh yeah, I want you to not bug me, so I'm gonna just do the thing. There, what's that? What's that? Oops. Yeah, take that. I'm hopefully tricking him. I gave him his esophagus back. I gave him his treat back, but I put a little tiny bit of peanut butter. Because it's this roll. I put a little bit of peanut butter halfway up so we can chew on the treat, and then good luck trying to get the peanut butter out. See how he does. Yeah, I'm kind of... You know what? There's so much stuff about alien disclosure called the news that's out there right now that I'm not sure that a movie is going to be all that helpful. That's the wrong word. I'm waiting to see if the movie's any good before I decide whether or not to see it. But with the current climate being what it is, with the current climate being what it is, it might just piss me off. It's like people have to put politics into everything. Why is that? How long does that get? Oh, it didn't get that long. This particular machine has a habit of snagging just a little tiny bit, but it doesn't. The way that it cuts the fabric, it leaves it with a little bit of a snag. So sometimes as I'm pulling my stuff away from the machine, it just goes starts unraveling. I don't know if you were well, Lisa can say they've already filmed it, so it's just going up. But if it doesn't make it, is it on Kickstarter? I don't know if I didn't do the list this time. I didn't do the list this month. I do not know how to describe this because I don't get sick. Whenever I picked up a bug of some kind, but whenever I get sick, I just am really tired for a few days, and then I just blow it off. So I had, and then this has been my week. Yeah, it's your fault. No, just put it. Wait, save it. Honestly, if it's something that just came out, it probably made it. It sounds familiar, but I can't say for sure. I had nothing to do with this month. So whenever I get a bit of a bug, I don't really get sick. I just get really tired for a few days. I just have a couple of tired days and then it's gone. But what I did was I had a couple of tired days, and then when my sleep schedule was back to normal, because yay me. So I had a couple of really tired days, and then because I had a couple of really tired days, I then decided that I should have a severe case of insomnia for the next 3 days. I'm just gonna do them all and then I'll chain them together. I'm gonna smack this around. Oh hey! Ooh, she's gonna have one for next month. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna do all 5 of these. Then I will chain them together. Your dog was sound asleep. No reason to be awake whatsoever. Oh, fucker. As soon as he realizes I'm talking, it's like, oh, I need your undivided attention. Oh my God! Not last night. Last night I finally like got back to normal. Night before last, I was up until 6 a.m. Because what happens is I pick up a bit of a bug, so it's like I'm just tired. But here's the thing: if you get too much, if you get too much rest, even if it's not beneficial, then eventually it's going to screw up your sleep cycle. Only when my sleep cycle gets screwed up, I decide that severe insomnia must be it's more I guess it's more gossip than anything. I mean, I was just like yeah, I wanted to go live yesterday, and it's like I got like less than 6 hours sleep, all of it broken up. So it's like I'm not. If you're too tired, okay, I don't know about you, but when I'm too tired, even if I'm okay and mostly functional, if I'm too tired past a certain point, I don't just make mistakes. I make major mistakes over simple shit. Like, it's nuts. I suppose it's not. I suppose there's nothing. I don't think it's a me thing. I think that when you're super tired and super distracted and super all the things, it's usually the simple little things that you end up not doing right, because you try to autopilot your way through the simple stuff, which you end up doing. Yeah, no, I wasn't. That's the funny thing is, like, I don't get sick. I didn't feel sick. I just felt really tired for a couple of days. That's how getting sick looks for me. I've had laryngitis a few times, but even then, I didn't feel sick. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of immune to the flu. I mean, that's not something you ever figure out. You never figure out, oh, I'm immune to the flu. You realize it over like 20, 30, 40 years, right? But, yeah, but Lisa picked up at first you're going, oh, what's going on with me? And then it's like, Lisa, it's kind of a funny thing because, at my age, when you I'm feeling really run down and I have no energy, I guess I need to see the doctor. Then it's like, oh, you're feeling the same way? Okay, there's something going around. Yeah, can't focus or think. That's what happens to me. If I'm too tired, then I'm just very distractible, very whatever. And it's never the big mistake. Because, okay, if you're really, really tired, what do? You automatically avoid the big things, right? So if you're tired beyond a certain point, you automatically avoid the big things. So then you make mistakes on every single little thing that comes your way. So it's not the end of the world, but it is. It's just the way it is. Anyway, so what's new with you guys? It's been a bit. When was last? I went live last Wednesday, so it's been over a week. Oh, you stop! You just no. He thinks it is now his job. He's also got a touch of dementia. We don't know how bad it is, but he's got a touch of it. So he may think that he still has to go out. Even it's like, no, I don't have to go, but I need to go. Anyway, that's been my week. My week has just been like, okay. That's been my week. What's been new for you guys? Yeah, I got a 100-inch. What's 100 inches? 100 divided by 3. What is 100 divided by 12? That's how wide this thing is. So I've got the width done. Now I need to add the top and the bottom to finish squaring it all out. Then we just have to figure out how. I don't know why I'm putting that over there. It's in my way. I think it's in my way. I always think. Ooh, working on event sound. Working on. You know what? After a while, you stop caring. You stop caring if it's something different. It's like, oh my God, this is awesome. It's something different. Okay, that's how I was. I think that's where I'm gonna have to just beat the crap out of this. That's the problem. He knows I'm all talk and no action. He knows I'm not gonna like smack him around or nothing. No, you're all done. No, we're all done. No, it's all done. It's time for work. Are you guys seeing this? He just thinks he runs a time. It's time for work. I'm working. I gotta work. You gotta go find something to do. Where's your treat? Do you want the other one? He will sit there staring at me like this. We just came up with a new event to offer called Planner Party to invite students to learn how to fill out a planner with stickers and colors and the important stuff. Hey, if you can make it fun, then they'll fill it all out, and then they've got a schedule. He will just sit there staring at me, hoping for a result. No. It's time for work. This is how he bullies people. You're such a bully, Bruno. You have to wait. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're going to try and ignore him. And if he's still being a little asshole. Oh yeah. He thinks he's in charge here, man. Look at that. He thinks he runs this house. This is what happens when you don't beat your pets. Yeah. No, you're fine. I'm going to get these. Okay, I've got these are going along quickly. I only need to have I'm going to do one strip then the other. The last thing you want to We're going to tolerate the barking and see if he'll give up. If he hasn't given up by the time I have this one done, I guess I will try and placate the little monster by taking him OUP. But if I say the wrong word, he's like, oh, I just have to wait. And for anybody wandering in who might actually be a quilter, I'm just eyeballing this because we don't mind the rustic look at all. We kind of really like it around here. But if you are, this is 20 inches. So I've got 5 inches, 10 inches, 15 inches. I've got them all marked. If you need these to be perfect, you will want to just draw a line all the way across. Okay. I'm losing a fight that I don't even know that I'm in. Look at him. I'm too cute to say no to. No, we're done. It's all done. Gotta go work. Well, it's not even 3 o'clock yet, and we're gonna do this. Okay, well, you know what? My normal starting time is 3 o'clock. On a normal regular day, I start around 3, so I'm still ahead of schedule. No, you're still a jerk. You're a jerk, buddy. He's snurfing at me. That's exactly what he is. He's a little baby boy old man. Oh my God, yes he is. Okay, you guys are apparently stuck entertaining yourselves for a few minutes. I railroad him. I don't give him long walks during the day, because if I do, he will literally bug me all day long, like every 20 minutes. Okay, I take him out if he needs to go, but I don't let him take too long. So you guys can entertain yourselves for a few minutes. I'm gonna take Monster Puppy out for a pee because then if you know what it is, if I don't take him out for a pee, then if I think I'm keeping him from having to go to the bathroom, I'll feel guilty. So I'm gonna go deal with my guilt by getting him out there. Oh, have a great dinner, Cece. We'll see you later. Yeah, okay, that's part of it too. Is like this is what happens. It's like nah, 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 nah. Out, go, walk, treat, that, nah, nah, nah. It's like I don't know why he won't wander away. Why are you not giving up when I'm saying all your favorite words? I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Come, where are you going? Seriously? Seriously. He walked away. Come here. Come on, monkey. I'm taking you out whether you want to go or not now. Oh, there you are. He's going to show me who's in charge. Come on. Oh, I got to get my keys. Got to wait right there. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, puppy doodle. I see you. Oh, you're smiling at me now, huh? Am I doing the right thing? Let's go. Let's go take you out for a pee. Let's go potty. Come on. Come on. Come on, Mr. Puppy. Come on. In we go. There we go. Let's go get you your treat. I'm not going to have you bugging for that last. Hi. What you doing? I'm back. He let me come back. Okay, where are you? Oh, there you are. Yeah, let me wash my hands. Hi. Rotten puppy. Okay. Glasses. Gloves. I'm back. I'm back. My house is beeping. Huh. No, not the washing machine. Sound like a puppy yelp. Oh, I bet. Okay. Sometimes our door pops open, so it's probably the door popping open because I forgot to lock it. I don't know. Everything here is fine. Everything's fine. We're in a condo. It could have been something coming from the hall. Hopefully it was just something coming. If it was something from here, I guess I'll find out about it sooner or later. Okay. Anyway, where are we at? Oh, hey, Crystal's here. Hi, Crystal. I did a bad? Who did a bad? No, it wasn't a puppy yelp. I did not hurt your dog. That's what. Your dog was the one causing the problems. There, now I can put it up there. I have to put it up there. Now that I don't need it out at all, I'll find somewhere. Oh, yeah, not locking. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, see, this particular machine has a... Fortunately, you can just... You're not actually supposed to reverse. You're not actually supposed to reverse pull your thread through the machine, but because it can make your machine really dirty really fast. But I will just get out the next machine in sequence and go next and get on with my day. So I've never heard of anybody actually damaging the machine from doing that. I just heard that when you're pulling it backwards through the racers and stuff, that's all those little gears and shit that everything all catches up. And when you're pulling it backwards through the racers and stuff, it can just make it really dirty. There's somebody on the roof. There is somebody on the roof. Don't worry, we have we're about halfway down the building. So whenever they're doing stuff on the roof, if they're doing anything on that half of the building, they have to go thunk, 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 thunk right past us. But unless they're doing something, unless they're left us in here vulnerable to being stolen. Yeah, well, that's the risk you take when you join this live stream. Can you imagine you're like doom to doom to doom, you bounce, watching the screen bounce around and somebody walks. We had a break-in actually next door last night. Weirdest thing. See, it just when it cuts, you're never going to be able to see this, but when it cuts, it just stays ever so slightly snagged. Or it doesn't cut at all. Did this one cut? Yeah, it stays ever so slightly snagged through there, just ever so slightly, just like boop. But if you if you're lazy, like I'm lazy, and don't do anything about it, then it can just pull tons and tons. I don't know why I put it back there just to pull it front again. Anyway, yeah, somebody viewers may be kidnapped. That'd be interesting because I can unplug this and do whatever for like I don't know how long I can film for before it just dies. I don't know how long I can go. I can go for a really long live stream as long as I leave this plugged in, but it does. I'm already down from 100 to 97% battery, so it does slowly drain my battery. I'm draining the battery just a little bit faster, a tiny bit faster than I can charge it. I don't know if that's good for my tablet or not. That'd be funny. All of a sudden, it's like where's the camera? Where's the camera? I don't even know where the camera is on this. Where is the camera? There's the camera. There. $1 million, you're not going to get your view back. Isn't that sad? It's like I don't even know where the camera is on this thing because you can't see it. You can't see it. There's no light to indicate that it's on. That's okay. It's a nice little tablet though. Yeah, we had a break-in. Okay, this condo complex. This condo is a 2-building complex. So there's a second building. There's a second building that's nearly identical. It's identical. Just everything's in reverse, right? Somebody. Okay, so there's this building and there's 2 buildings in this complex. It was the other building that got broke. Somebody broke into the garage, right? But what they broke into, what they did was they broke into the garage across the street at a different building, right? They broke into a building that's across the street from us. And then they took the stuff that they stole and broke into our building and put it in the back of the garage. And it's like, I'm kind of wondering if maybe somebody's kid is turning out to be one of life's shitbags or something, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense to break. Okay, and these are little buildings. They're not that, generally speaking, it's like, oh yeah, people get in when people are coming and going, right? We have a bigger complex over there. And as far as we know, nobody broke in there. But it's like, so we got that the building next door. This is a small complex. There's only 30 units in this building. There's only 30 units in the building next door, right? So they're like, oh, make sure the garage door closes so people don't slip in. But who's slipping in at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning from a different building? That they broke in. So they broke into a building across. They got into the garage of a building across the street, stole a bunch of Amazon packages apparently, but then they bring them with them to the next building. It's like, and how do they get into either building? Because the building across the street is like probably like 100 units, but still at 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, what are the odds? What are the odds that you can slip into one building when people are, yeah, they don't know how to steal right. It's like, so, but what are the odds? What are the odds that you can slip into one building and then a few minutes later cross the street with a fuck ton of Amazon packages? Apparently, I don't know anything about how this was actually done. So these are all done now. I got to start trimming because now I got to start piecing them all together. I'm going to put this up here. So these are going upright. These are going to, the other ones I did top to bottom. These are going side by side till I have 5 inches, 5 pieces all the way around. So that's what's next. I put that away. There's my ruler. Anyway, I'm kind of wondering if I'm kind of wondering if somebody's kid has a fob. I'm kind of wondering if somebody's kid is either somebody stole a fob. We lived in this one building where they were having all kinds of problems with the garage being broken into. Never caught them in the act, but then they went and had a little chat with three of the kids in the building, that 3 brothers. They went and had a little chat with them about, hey, we're putting in cameras. And amazingly, it just stopped immediately. So that could be what's going on. I don't know. It was fucking weird. And then also last night, 3 of our post boxes were open. But we think that was just the guy had a trainee with him. So the postal carrier had a trainee with them. So we think that's it sounds like kids. It sounds like kids. It sounds like they got a hold of a fob. Because when we had, like I said, we were living in a building in Vancouver, and there was somebody breaking into that garage about every 3rd night for like a month. It was crazy, right? They broke into one vehicle they broke into the one car by whatever they got. They literally peeled the door straight out to get in. It was like fucking nuts. But so I'm okay. That's my private bet with myself. Lisa and I don't know. We're not okay. We live in the other building, right? I just think it's very strange that they found. I think it's very strange that somebody broke into this building. Somebody had a fob and broke into this building. They also then tried to break in. It's weird, Bill, because our fob also opens the door to get us upstairs, right? But it's like I think somebody got a hold of a fob for this building and they tried to break into the door. I don't think they realized that the fob would work on the door. Bunch of drunken kids with nothing better to do. But it's very weird that they can coincidentally slip into 2 different buildings. And that's how a lot of break-ins in condo buildings happen, is because somebody is loitering around. And then you pull in, you're in a hurry, you don't wait for the gate to close, and somebody just kind of slips in behind you, hides behind a car till you're gone, whatever, right? But doing that, and we don't have that kind of problem in this neighborhood. I thought so. This one here shifted a little bit. We don't, for the first time in the 10 years that we've been here, a theft happens, and it's coincidentally too extreme. There's a complex. The complex over there is 3 30-story towers. It's just right on the other side. It starts right on the other side of the gully from us. 3 30-story towers, and they have a shared garage. If you're gonna slip in unnoticed at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's where you're gonna be, because there's traffic going 24/7 through there, right? Not this building, not that building full of people, full of people that go to bed early, have jobs, yada yada yada. It's not. The building across the street's a lot younger. So it's a newer. Okay, the building that we're in is like what, 35 years old, and there's people in both buildings that have been here since the place was built, right? So I thought it was very weird. And I know this makes me a bad person. Taking notes for Peggy's heist plan. Yeah. Well, I know it makes me a bad person, but if somebody in the other building has a fob and this is what's causing it, it's that thing, right? It's that self-protection thing. It's very, very weird. So I suspect that it's very, very likely that whoever did it has a fob to one or the other of these buildings. Which, if that's the case, they're very unlikely to target this building, which is where we live and where all our stuff is, right? But, yeah. What's going on? Okay, that's fine. Again, we are going for the rustic look. I showed Lisa where we were at. It's a different kind of lazy. It's like, it gets really weird when you get, the texture of this can get weird near the edges. Yeah, it's like, no, it's kind of a, I don't know. I don't want to laugh it off because it's not the least bit funny. The good news is that for such a, the good quote, the good news is that for such a big city that, oh, well, I guess, okay, by Canadian standards, right? We've only got 3 big cities and this is one of them, right? So we don't have a lot of home invasions, muggings. We don't have a lot of stuff like that. We have a lot of this. We have a lot of crimes of opportunity where somebody, like I said, somebody's got a problem, so they steal mom's fob and get into the garage and do some things. That's what was happening. We lived in the one building, and that's what it was. Like the kids were essentially drug dealers. The kids were fucking hell on wheels. But anyway, and turns out they were stealing their mom's entries. They were stealing their. They weren't even using a fob, because that place had a key. A key for a fob for the garage, and a key for the door. They were just stealing her. They just stole their mom's key, and they go down the garage every few days, steal whatever wasn't nailed down, sell it for drugs. But it's not okay. But they said that what they've done is they've gone into. They say rustic on a cooking show. Sorry, this doesn't show things properly. They say it always means, yeah, exactly. That's what we do. We do messy. We do rustic. This is rustic. It's how we go. Okay. No, you don't go there. You're gonna get knocked right off the back of the thing. Okay. So if you're looking to do this perfectly, then you want to. If you're looking to do this perfect, then you want to run a line. Well, if you're looking to do this perfectly, then you want to make sure that this is squared off, which I didn't do. And then you want to mark a line all the way up both sides so that you can then line everything up perfectly. I just go for the best. I just eyeball it because I don't care. I don't got to sleep with this blanket. I don't gotta sleep. Yeah, Jamie Oliver, isn't he the one that's always all about his rustic? Just go for the rustic look. It's like, dude, as long as it's edible, I don't care. As long as this keeps me warm at night, I don't care. I've done precision. I do know how to do precision. This is just quicker. It's easier. And I get impatient. And I know this about myself. I will tell you right now, if you're going to engage in anything like this, before you decide what you're doing or how you're doing it, do a little self-assessment and figure out for yourself what your personal style is. Are you honestly, are you somebody who gets into a big project and then it's like, oh, it's getting boring, it's this, it's that. It's like, then you do not have the patience for a king size quilt. If you're going to do it, if you're going to go for perfection, right? This is a king size quilt. It's only got 25 pieces. There are king size quilts where people are making little designs on 4-inch squares and then sewing it all together. I want to do one like that. I just don't have the patience for it. See? Know yourself. Why did that do that? Okay. So anyway. Yeah, so we had so in our building, you have like when you're in a condo, for anybody who may not know, when you're in a condo, the mailboxes are like, so we've got 6 banks. We've got 6 sections of mailbox. Each section holds mail for 5 people, right? And go downstairs, take the dogs out last night. This was the weird thing. So there's 3 of them are unlocked. And we're pretty sure, okay, we've already had it confirmed. We were pretty sure it wasn't broken into because one of the ones that was unlocked was a really tall one, and even a tall person wouldn't be able to reach up and over. Because, okay, what they do is they unlock a key, and then the bank of 5 just pops out, and then they tune and do the next one, right? So apparently the guy... We've already gotten a response back. We reported it just on the off chance, but we've already gotten a response back that the regular postal guy had a trainee with them. So that's probably why it wasn't closed properly. So that was a thing. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like here's the thing: is that if you're comfortable working with large pieces, right? The only thing anybody can experience. Anybody can do this. Anybody can. If you do 4 of them, 4 of these, 20 inches by 20 inches, now you've got 40 by 40. And then you add another 20 by 20 at the bottom. That's 40 by 60. That's a baby blanket or a lap quilt. 6 pieces, easy peasy. All you're going to do is you're going to put lots and lots of pins up here and up here, right? I've been doing these I've only been doing this for what? 4 or 5 years now since I really but these are so easy to do. You're gonna put in lots of extra pins. That's what you're gonna do until you get the hang of it. Then you're just gonna be off to the fucking races. And if you don't mind, and that's if you want it to be perfect. If you don't mind that it's a little rustic or whatever. So to avoid any issues with this, you just put an iron to it. Iron it open, and that way you just boop and go. I like to get at least the first piece done. Sometimes I'm careful, sometimes I'm not. I pin the first few together because I pinned the first few together on the outside because I really needed to make sure that was going well. Dry hands. Making them forever. These are quick. These are okay. If I'm doing a massive project where I need 100 of these, yeah, it's not so quick, but we also did a quick check-in, and I was going to do angle for the corners, and I'm just doing everything like this because then everything at the top goes like this. Everything out the sides goes like that, and then the center is the center. So that's still going to look really good because you don't look at it from the back anyway. You don't look at it from the back, and most of the stuff isn't really going to be visible from the front. There we go. Every now and again, okay, this is black on black. Every now and again, I get so close to the edge that it goes off. That is okay. It's black on black, and it's black on black, and you're never going to see it. So all I've got to do is come back and trim it. I don't have to. If I was doing a contrasting thread, like say I was going to do white thread, then I would be going through a lot more slower. If I was going to do a contrasting thread that makes it visible, then I'd be going through a lot more slowly and being a lot more careful about making sure that I stay in that perfect straight line exactly where I want it. I am getting away with being a little more careless and going a little faster because it's black on black on black on black. And the thread is nearly identical to matching the thread is nearly identical in color to this. So I can be a lot lazier. I will say that that's, if you're like, I don't know where I'm at for patience and whatever, working with really, okay, not dark colors, but working with colors that black on black is really hard to see. Makes it a bitch to sew, but once it's done, your mistakes are literally invisible. But anyway, where are we at? So now if I can get my shit together, I can have both of these strips done, because I've got to put one across the top, one across the bottom. If I can have my shit together and have both of these strips done, then Lisa might be able to, because it's a Friday night, we can just order pizza or do something. We can order pizza or do something simple at home. And then, because she has hot takes tomorrow, so tomorrow's out. But yeah, you just got to make sure, you got to make sure that no matter what you do to turn this under, that you have at least 1/4 of an inch lip to sew into. That way it's not going to come out. So the next piece is going to go on. It's all going to go this way. Oh, I can take those. Yeah, I can take those out. I'm going to put that over there, though. Oh, that won't matter. That won't matter. What, member readings? Oh, wait, I'm confused now. I'm confused. We went from Peggy's heist plans to member readings. Jenny confused me. It's all her fault. I can blame Jenny. I can blame anybody you want. Yeah, I don't know that we're okay. I don't know that we're going to get this done. I don't know that we're finishing this today, but I think we're going to have it finished by the end of the weekend. Because once these are done, like I said, the buddy system just member readings. I meant member readings. Yes, I meant to say member readings. Okay. One thing that sometimes happens, especially if you're doing it in a rush, one thing that sometimes happens is that this doesn't necessarily line up, because I let things move, right? But once you have this in, okay, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it, but the edge is here, and this starts here, right? It's not the end of the world. I want to get it started a little bit closer. So there's going to be a thin spot right there, like between that seam and here. There's going to be a thin spot right there. But once you add all this stuff in, and you can tweak it a tiny bit with the pins. If I'd have done the proper pinning up the sides, this wouldn't be happening, and it's fine, and it's okay that it did happen. But now I'm just going to have to make sure that I'm going to pin the very top, and I'm just going to tuck it over a bit. But it will, for the most part, this particular style will, for the most part, always feel a little weird at the connection point, because you've got a seam. This isn't, okay, this is a seam, right? So you got a seam. And I don't think weird is necessarily the right way to think about. When you get onto the back, you're going to have a row of stitching, then you're going to have a seam, then you're going to have another row of stitching. So if things are not quite 100% touching, nobody's going to know. Yeah, cat hair. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cat hair. We don't have a cat. We have Bruno, so we have the same problem. Oh, and he's over here now. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see. There he is. He's like, I'm just going to lay here and play dead for a while. That's fun when your dog is 13. Okay, anyway. next time I'm doing a smaller project, because I can put together 4 of these just to go through the process for anybody who's interested. I could put together 4 of these showing how to do them perfectly for anybody who might be interested, but that's not going to happen until this is done. There we go. Yeah, I just didn't want to, I just noticed that it was a little off. Didn't want it to shift. That's one thing I hate about pinning. Pin goes in, 2 seconds later, pin goes out. It's like, he is starting to snore these days. He used to snore once in a while, then he stopped, and now he's back to snoring again. But only when he's really sound. Shayla. Oh my God, Shayla. Now, we've made no secret about it is absolutely no secret. Lisa and I sleep in separate rooms because I have insomnia. She's a super light sleeper now too, though, by the way. But her snoring keeps me awake, right? Well, Shayla used to get so freaking loud that she would like drown out Lisa. The only thing is, Lisa, the problem that I had with Lisa's snoring is that she would snore for a couple of minutes, then stop, and start again, and no sleep apnea. Just that's because she talks in her sleep. So it's like, the weird groaning noises. So she wasn't catching her breath to in any sort of way that could be controlled. It was anyway. Yeah, Shayla used to snore like that. She was like that every fucking breath. I just choked myself. So Shayla would snore so loud. The only saving grace is there was a consistent noise from her, so you could like, if a noise is consistent and routine, I shouldn't have done that. That's how Shayla would snore, though. She would, oh my God, it was horrible. During the day, it didn't matter. So I wear headphones a lot. I wear headphones a lot during the day, even when I'm by myself, because then I can like get up and do whatever. And it's this weird thing. Well, okay, I'm listening to laptop speakers, right? So you go up and you get up and you move to a different part of the room and you just can't hear anything anymore, right? 328. Oops, you gotta go that way. Get that out of the way. I gotta trim that. I gotta get that's in the way. That's why. It was just draped over. It was draped over funny, so it wasn't sitting properly. Anyway, Shayla was a super loud snorer. Yeah. Animals can be surprisingly loud. Bruno snores. Bruno does snore, but if I have my headphones on, I don't hear him at all. I could hear Shayla through my headphones. It was crazy. Like I said, the only reason why I could handle it is because she would just get settled in, and it'll be a consistent snore in, breathe out, snore in, breathe out. So if Lisa snored like that, I would probably be able to tolerate it. But like I said, Lisa's problem is that she's a stop and start snorer, and she starts and stops abruptly. It used to not be bad. It used to be not too bad as long as I could get to sleep fairly quickly. Then I could. It's funny, for all my insomnia, once I'm asleep, I used to. Note the word used to. Once I was asleep, I would tend to sleep soundly and stay asleep. It was just getting to sleep was always my problem. But anyway. Yeah, Bruno, on the other hand, Bruno's special magical skill is the farting. Oh my God, that boy can clear a room. He is. I don't know what it is, but did either of you ever sleep? No, neither one of us sleepwalk. My son used to when he was younger, John. John would get up at night and go for a pee. That's fine, not a problem. Every night, but but turns out he's basically sleepwalking while he does it. So every now and again, he would go pee in a garbage can. The one night, he's like in the bathroom beside the toilet. He opened the cupboard, started peeing in it. It's like, okay. But he was like, what, 9? He was 8, 9 years old. Turns out we actually asked did we ask the doctor? I forget how we found. We basically checked him with the doctor. He wasn't wetting the bed or anything like that. Actually, he did. He wet the bed a little bit growing up, but not anything serious. Check with the doctor, like, so what do we look for? And basically, turns out that with kids, when your kid is growing, different body parts can grow at different rates. So every now and again, when he was in a particular growth cycle, his body would be growing faster than his bladder. Oh yeah, Bruno's a stank monster. My God. And okay, well, here's something else. And you guys know that we keep a puppy pad down for him, right? Because he's a dog. He has to have water at all times, which means that we have to keep a puppy pad down, because if he's thirsty at night, he has to be able to get up and go get a drink of water. Well, so basically the puppy pad training that you do with an actual puppy, he poops in there sometimes. Not a lot. Surprisingly, not a lot. He had a big pee last night, or this morning after Lisa left. So his sugar was probably a little high. But his sugar is always high anyway. But he also had a little bit of a poop, right? So he doesn't poop in there full time or anything like that. He doesn't. We're lucky that way. But if he has to poop and we're still in bed, he will use the puppy pad, which is absolutely fine. And sometimes at night, he will go in and use the puppy pad. And so he'll have a poop at night. So, while I'm still up, because I'm up super fucking late. But it's like, oh, it's late. I need to pee. Oh, I also need to poop. Whatever the heck. He doesn't use it all the time. But whenever you smell that smell, you got to go up. You got to go check just on the off chance, right? So yeah, about twice a night we're up there. Oh, just make sure he only poops in there about twice a week, but because of the smell, because he's such a stank monster, yeah, he does it on the puppy pad. We're very lucky. We're very lucky that way, because like I said, with a diabetic dog, a diabetic dog has to have full-time access to water, period. There's no getting out around it, because it'll really fuck up their sugar. When he was first diabetic and we didn't know it yet, he was so ravenous. He was thirsty all the time, drinking all the time. His sugar was completely out of control. So he was guzzling water and peeing to the point, like, he would go in and pee and then go back in 5 minutes. Okay. If he goes in for a pee and he'll use the puppy pad, but if the puppy pad's already wet, he'll pee beside it, right? Not a big deal. Because basically Shayla, it's a big, long story, but anyway, two little dogs, you put down puppy pads at night. So he would pee and then go back in again and pee. So we're like, oh my God, what's going on? So we started trying to regulate his water, and he was so desperately thirsty that he would be going after like the one area out front here, every dog in the neighborhood pees there. So when it rains, that puddle is pee water, and he'd be trying to drink it. He was going absolutely crazy trying to drink anything, any fluid he could find. He just went nuts. Then it's like, okay, wait a second. This only lasted for about a month. But anyway, I'm babbling in circles. So a diabetic dog, you just can't take away their water. It's just you just can't do it, right? Fortunately or unfortunately, Shayla, for some reason, was trained to go in the tub, jump in the tub, have a pee, have a poop. And so because he could smell it, he never stopped using the puppy pad. So we never had to retrain him. We just keep one down. But yeah, it was a weird process. Okay, before I start on this, I gotta blow my nose. Probably all that coughing and hacking that I was just doing. I need to not fake snore anymore. Well, I have real Kleenex. That's awesome. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so once we made all of our realizations, it's like, okay, so down goes the water. Anyway, the whole punchline here is that he is a stank monster. When he farts, he can clear the whole fucking room. So because of the whole situation, the fact that I'll tell you right now, the fact that he was puppy pad trained already probably saved his life. To be, and it's not to be mean or cruel or anything like that, but an incontinent dog who doesn't know where to go to the bathroom gets you evicted. And I don't know what decision we would have ended up having. I think we would have been forced into making a very different decision if we couldn't. You cannot deny water to a diabetic dog, but okay, he was 3 years old. I'm sure we would have been able to. No, I mean he was 5. I'm pretty sure we would have been able to rehome him, but this weird circumstance that starts with I don't know who would train a dog to jump in the tub to go pee, but that's where she went, which meant that we could never quite get either, because we couldn't train her. Okay, she prefers to go outside, like at night or when the weather was bad. She would hop in the tub, and it's like, fuck. So that was already a thing. Then he's like going, well, I don't want to go outside either. So he's doing his thing. We eventually got her trained to use a puppy pad. It's kind of funny. I'm making it sound like it's an absolute shit fest around here, and it wasn't. But and then, of course, as she got older, she's like, I ain't jumping in that tub. But anyway, no, it's kind of interesting the way you think about I guess, serendipity, the way the world goes round, right? We wouldn't have been able, if he had not been already puppy pad trained, or yeah, I have no idea. Okay. We literally found Shayla as a stray running down the fucking highway, and she was already at least 6 months old. So she was not an adult dog when we found her, but she was not quite a puppy anymore either. And yeah, like, I mean, we found this out within like about 3 days. But yeah, we find this stray dog, emaciated but clean dog. So it's like, oh, she probably got out of somewhere, but she was underweight to the point where the vet's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, well, we found her on the highway. So I think she was, I think they asked us, oh, no, because we gave her a bath. They said, she's emaciated. Whoever had her before you was not feeding her. At least not properly. But anyway, yeah, so maybe I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I mean, it's kind of funny. He failed at the genetic lottery. Like, I mean, he's got everything wrong with him, but because he's also got bad knees, right? Bad knees, and because he's got bad knees, now his hips are probably fucked up. But no, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, I'm sure we could have rehomed him, but I don't know that he was so fixated on us. He's like, because we actually talked about it. It was a weird conversation. We actually talked about it. Once we got him stabilized, right? And then no teeth, blind in one eye, no teeth. Well, okay, the diabetes basically means no teeth. Diabetic dogs do not do well dentally. But no, we actually talked about it afterwards. Like, we had talked, basically they had completely different feeding schedules and routines and the whole bit. And we actually talked about it because he was so imprinted on us. And Shayla was just this happy-go-lucky little dog, right? Shayla was super happy-go-lucky, loved everybody. And we actually talked about it. It's like, if we cannot get there, because different schedules, different foods, different everything. It's like, if we can't get this sorted out, we have to get rid of one of the dogs. We have to rehome. And we actually realized that he was so imprinted on us that if the feeding incompatibilities, because basically we would get Shayla, we would feed Shayla, and then he would like lose his mind. Diabetic dogs are by default just either they don't eat or they're hungry all the time, and he was hungry all the time, right? It's like, if we can't get this sorted out, then we have to rehome one of the dogs. And we actually realized that that Shayla would be the one we'd end up rehoming. Not that we didn't give a shit about Shayla, but she was such a happy-go-lucky thing. If whenever we weren't around, Bruno would be like miserable, looking for us, whatever. But Shayla was just like, whatever, whatever. So we knew that she would adjust like instantly. But yeah, no, he's a happy little boy. Even now with the laundry list of shit that he's got going on, he's got no pain. No pain. I think his knees get a little achy. I think his knees get a little achy in weather, but it's been like my knees get a little achy in weather, and you just adjust. You adjust your expectations. You adjust your stuff. So he doesn't have the kind of arthritic pain that Shayla ended up with. He doesn't have the hit. He might have some body aches in his knees. He might have achy knees from time to time. But he doesn't have that debilitating shit that arthritis can do to a dog. So, I mean, we're not sure. We're not sure. We're not sure if his time with us is measured in years, days, weeks. We don't know. But he's fucked up but stable. He's stably fucked. Anyway. So this is the third one that's on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna agonize. Oh, I am gonna agonize. Why do I feel like, okay, come on. Okay, 3. So what I'm doing here, this is now held here and here. It needs to be held at least in the middle here. So I'm just moving these pins over, these safety pins. I'm just moving the safety pins over. I might even put a couple more pins in. I haven't decided yet. The bigger the piece, the more things move. Yeah, you get to enjoy him because he likes to see. I need to stop saying. It's like calling Beetlejuice. Okay, so I can put that one on the top. I don't have to do this right this second, but I might as well. Because the less it moves around, okay, there's another one there. The less it moves around, the less issues you have with fraying and stuff. Okay, got to keep the 2 corner pieces in. I can move that one to there, and I can move to the top one later. Okay, so 3. La. It's not even 4 o'clock yet. If I get super lucky, I might be. If I get super lucky now, we're trying to figure out. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah, don't summon the beast. Well, he did have a little tiny poop. He is like the biggest baby in the world. It's like, it's 4 o'clock and I think I might have a bunny bean to expel. Anyway. Yeah, so the neighboring building got 2 of the neighboring buildings apparently got broken into. But what they did, okay, here's the weird part. I never got to the part that was really weird though. What they did was they broke into the one garage, right? And then apparently they got a purse and some Amazon packages. Don't know. They had a purse and an Amazon package addressed to the building across the street from us. So they broke into one building, stole a bunch of stuff, then crossed the street with their stolen stuff, broke in, and then left it here. They also broke into one of the cars here. But it's like, it's the weird, it is the weird, that's why I'm thinking that's why my thinking is going, it's somebody's kid got the fob. The quilt progress. Yeah, I've got, okay, so this strip is going to go on. This strip is going to be done in the next few minutes. Because I just have to, I've got this strip. And then I've got another strip of 5 to also do. I just separated them because it can be really easy to get distracted and suddenly you've got 6. Yeah, I thought this is why I'm kind of going, I wonder if it was somebody with a key to here, but maybe somebody's kid, because they got into the garage, right? But then damaged the door, okay, you use the fob, you get into the garage, right? Then you come around to the one door and you just touch the pad and it opens, right? But if you click the button to get into the garage, then you might just going to click the button at the other one and not realize you have to touch it. So they got into the garage, but didn't realize that you could. They got into the garage, but then couldn't figure out how to get from the garage into the stairwell to get to the rest of the building. And that kind of makes me wonder that it was somebody who got their hands on a fob, but didn't realize how to use the fob to get into the rest of the building. I don't know. It was very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, so that one. This one. Okay, 4. Okay, I don't mind glove on, glove off because my hands are so dry that, yeah. A lot of people don't even bother with quilting gloves for this. I just do it for the grip. Okay. So you just make sure your top is your top. Make sure nothing's flipping over. Yeah, it's very, okay. Addicts don't exactly engage their higher functioning brain. So that could be all that was going on. I just find it very odd that this neighborhood does not get a lot of break-ins. Cars parked on the street, sure. I'm gonna guess that's probably far more common than I would like to know about. But we've been here for 10 years, and this is the first time we've heard about a break-in in the garage. So it's like, wait a second. After 10 years of no break-ins, we have. Well, have a nice walk. Have a nice walk. I don't know how long we're going to be here today. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if I'm going to leave. I don't know if we're going to end up leaving the camera on or off. I suppose it's going to depend on whether or not we're hungry. You know what we might do is, we tend to eat a little early, so maybe what we'll do, maybe what I'll do is I'll turn it off when Lisa gets home. We'll take off for some food, and then maybe just come back and turn the camera on for the end. I would love to do a complete quilt from beginning to end. But Lisa has to be here She doesn't have to be here, okay? For me to, I can attach this to the big piece. I can attach this to the big piece by just pinning the crap out of everything. I can attach it by pinning the crap out of everything, but it gets heavy. It starts to feel pretty heavy. And there's also a system where you can rearrange your tables. If I take this and pull it out there, I would turn everything around. If I this table, if I lined everything up against that table in the right configuration, then I'm just keeping everything on a nice level surface, pushing forward. I should probably try that. You know, I should probably try that and see how that feels, because, you know, it's been a long time since I did one. It's been a long time since I did a quilt that's this big. But the reality is that before I decided to fuck up my shoulder, it was actually not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's the thing, is that you don't want it pulling. Because, okay, as I'm going forward, you can see it a bit here. As I'm going forward, it's going off the end. Well, once I get this switched around, I'm going to have a 100-inch piece of fabric going forward. That's kind of a cool view. But I can't read I've got to kind of find the happy medium where you guys can see, I can still see the chat. And as always, backstitch at the end of this section so that it's still in place when you want it for later. So basically, once this is on, you're just flipping it. But no, like, I can take this little configuration here, turn the whole thing around and line it up against this table back here, the white table. And then I end up with my quilt piled up on the brown table, pushing it through the machine where the bulk then ends up on the white table. And then I'm just sliding stuff around. I'm not dealing with weight the same way. I should probably give it a shot. I should probably try it and see what happens. I mean, moving the camera is not hard. There's a plug-in over there. I should do it. I might do that. I think I should. I'm debating on revamping this space a little bit. Now that I'm basically only quilting anymore. I suppose I would do bags and stuff on request. I don't know how I would do that in a way that would make sense. I don't want to sell bags anymore. I don't want to sell bags anymore, but I also don't want to commit into situations where I'm just sewing shit tons of bags. I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. What the heck? Oh, this machine has got buttons here, and I just hit the buttonhole button. I already know for a fact that this is getting turned up, that this whole section here is getting turned under, so I can ignore it. By the way, that's something else too, is that if you are really concerned about this coming out, this seam part coming out, then you can always just zigzag it on too. Yeah, that's the thing. I can probably hold it on. What I could do too, if I had the white table against a wall or against something so that it would just bunch up and not then continue forward to fall over the next edge. I keep thinking I want to revamp this area a little bit, but there's a fireplace here, then it goes like that and like that, which is fine. But it's a bit of a pain because if I move that table into the configuration that would work best for quilting, then it does not work best for cutting. I was like, oh, mind you, I did this kind of modular. Okay, you know what? I did this modular on purpose. Because like you can get massive sewing tables and all kinds of stuff like that, but then you can't move them around. I wanted this. This was intentional so that I could move it around. No, it doesn't. It wouldn't do well with casters, to be honest. Because once the machine, think of a washing machine. If a washing machine's on casters and with no way to lock them, then has them walking everywhere. But it's easy enough. It's not a heavy table. I drag it around all over the place already. No, I'm just kind of slowly. And here's the thing. It's like we don't mind the idea of going and buying another table or a differently sized table, whatever. Like, I mean, it's not like we're looking for reasons to spend money, but it's like this brown table is smaller than that table. Like maybe if I switch over to I don't know how I would do it. Maybe if I switch over. I don't want to put things I like being able to turn the camera on, so I don't want to switch things over in such a way that I can no longer film. So that's a bit of a priority. Lisa's perfectly happy to help with any of this whenever I need the help. So that part's not a problem. And this is probably one of the last king size quilts I'm probably going to make. This makes 3 or 4 for her now. This makes 3 or 4 for her, and we've already discussed it, and we've already discussed it. At some point, she wants to go down to either a queen or maybe even a double. So she does not need a king size quilt for every day of the week. Yeah, see this one's butted right up against that stitch line, so I don't have to do anything over here. But they can and they will move. And they are easier to control if you're doing smaller pieces. things move around. It's kind of a catch-22. Mistakes are like nearly invisible. I gotta get the glove on this hand. I don't know why I have to have it on that hand. Actually, my left hand is usually the one that I have problems with. Yeah, I have a double. I just have a double. Like, her bed's a king size. We don't need both beds to be massive. Actually, it works out really well for me too, because my bedroom still kind of doubles as some of the storage. I have a pop shelf. I have extra pillows in there. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We actually have decent storage for a condo. There's a basement storage. There's storage lockers in the closet, which is nice. I will say that if you have a basement storage locker in a condo, always assume that whatever you're storing down there is going to get musty. Not moldy though. We haven't had any mold problems, but if we can't put it, if it's not waterproof or able to seal up, we don't put it downstairs. But then she's got there's a walk-through closet that goes to the master bath, and since she's got the room to herself, it's got a lot of storage in it. I have a Care Bears Roughly duvet. Wow. Care Bear scare. Okay, so this is done. I got a center one there, a center one there. I need a center one there. Center one there. I don't know. Okay, and number 5 is about to go on, so we're good. We're doing really well today. Oh, and I don't need pins on the ends here because the stitching just goes right to the end, holds it exactly where I need it to be. Okay, that's an extra one. And I can put one here. Well, maybe that's... If I pull this table out of that corner, I'm going to find a 4-foot deep pile of dust, though. So I would actually have to clean my house. Spreads that adorable only come in the smaller. Oh yeah. They come in tiny sizes. I can't click the link from where I am, not unless I go on my computer. I hope it should be a clickable link for anybody else who wants to take a look. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. I can go take a look. Let's see. Click that. There we go. Click that. Oh, come on. Of course, I can't see the fucking chat from there. I can't see anything. Huh. Just... Oh, nope, I'm back there. It did not let me, nope. Okay, I gotta go see this now. I'll be right back. I gotta go on my other computer. I want to see that link. There we go. I do not see your link. Oh, there it is. I do not see your link. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. That is some pink ass shit. I am allergic to that much pink. Wow. That is a lot of pink, Jenny. A lot of pink. Yeah, I think I'm kind of wondering that I'm kind of wondering how much the tablet can handle. So it probably can't be recording and watching videos at the same time, because the screen on the tablet was just black. That's a did anybody else click that link? Oh my god. Whoops. I gotta shove that in the corner again so I can trim the edges again. 402. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I don't want to redo the room, at least not at the moment. I don't want to redo the room. I think what I'm gonna do is add this. Oh my god, I'm having an allergic reaction. I'm breaking out in hives over here. That is some crazy. That is a lot of pink. A lot of pink. So I think what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this strip, and I'll start on the next. I'll finish this strip, and then I'll start on the next strip. I don't think I'm gonna get both strips attached today, and it's not that big of a. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Start on this strip, then start on the next strip, because it's already done. It's already finished every other way that needs to happen. Come back with Lisa to get one attached. You know what I'm going to do? This would probably be a whole lot easier if I just finish both strips, right? If I finish both strips of 5 blocks, if I finish both of these now, and then Lisa and I can come back on Sunday. It'll be a weekend video because Lisa has a day job, right? But I could then come back. We could come in on Sunday to finish it and just be chit-chatting and whatever. Yeah, I'm just assembling at that point. Okay, I am doing the exact same thing that I'm doing here. I'm just doing it on a much bigger scale. But I've just got to add 2. I've got to put the 2 strips together and then do the outside, and the rest of the quilt's done. So it's not that big of a deal. And again, double checking, make sure everything's up and up. Make sure the ups are the ups. Eventually I start whining about glove on, glove off, glove on, glove off. But honestly, it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. Figuring out that I can wear quilting gloves for the regular stuff has made a huge difference. I want to do a video, and I might actually do a pre-record. I want to do a video showing, because I have been looking for anybody that's doing this the way that I do it, and I'm not seeing it. And I don't know if that's helpful or not helpful, but we've had a couple of people come in. We've had a couple of people wander and asking sewing questions, which is absolutely fine, because it's mostly hanging out, a little bit of sewing. I've got small. I keep about 10 to 12 bobbins of black, just ready to go all the time. So I've only got 2 left. I'm gonna have to take a break. Well, this will do a lot. It's actually kind of funny too how little you use. Way less. I use way less thread, but I also don't take it in for long arming either. There's ways to do this where you're going to end up. Come on, up you get. I will say once you get the hang of doing this manually, an automatic threader. I mean, okay, the automatic threader I love. The automatic where you just put this in and just you on my other machine, you put it in, you go boop, and then you just put it, or there's a thing to put it around, you just pop it, and it does this part all by itself. It's not that big of a deal when you get the hang of it. It only adds a couple seconds. I think most newer machines don't. Because even that cheapy brother that I had did not do that. I don't know why these do, but come on. See, and right now, like, I've got a whole bunch of stuff over there at the end, and come on, where are you? Why are you not? Why do I feel? No, you're lined up. Again, if I wanted to give a shit about this, then I would be over at the big table, spread this out, and then I would just draw my line, pin the crap, draw my 2 lines. Because what you do is you have a line in the front, you have a line here and a line here, right? Then you take your pin and you go through the front line, and you just double check and make sure it comes out through the other line. And then you just match it. You just match up your lines and pin them in place, and then you just go. Even like this, right? And then you would just go pin, 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 pin. I just find overall, the overall amount of time, I would spend more time doing that than I do just futzing. Like, I futz, and then once I'm ready, I just go. It's what works for me. But I'm thinking about doing a tutorial style video where I just, because my ugly quilt, I could do like a little 8x8 using 6-inch pieces, and then just throw it in the ugly quilt pile. The ugly quilt does not require that everything be assembled, that everything be zigzagged together. I could have several chunks where it's 4 or 5 pieces that are just done up. But yeah, I think what I might do, I don't know. I'm kind of changing my mind. I think I might keep going until Lisa's home, and then from there, I find that if I put, even though I have to still double check all of this stuff, I find that if I line up from here first, it just is a lot easier. Again, glove on and glove off. That's my dry skin. That's not something you need to do. I will say though that once you get past the learning curve of a walking, the learning curve on a walking foot is incredibly tiny. But once you get the hang of a walking foot, stuff like this is a lot less intimidating. I'm kind of feeling, I'm kind of going to the edge under, I'm going to the edge under and over, and then making sure that my fingers meet. There we go. Shifted the tiniest bit. Yeah, I was thinking of those. Do a pre-record where I'm doing everything actually properly. I mean, these are just shortcuts. These are shortcuts that I do. I do a lot of, okay, anything that you do in life, you will find shortcuts that work specifically for you, that work exactly the way you need them to work, that other people might not benefit from. So these are specific Peggy shortcuts that work for me. But if I were to show how to do one of these perfectly, I think it would make it, I don't know. I'm just really happy that I've done so many. I'm just really happy that I've done so many massively huge projects. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Do a couple of instructionals. Because whenever I'm chatting, my preference is just turn on the camera and chat. I love live streaming. I like live streaming more than any other kind of content. And I don't know if it's, and that's totally fine. But if anybody looking for actual tips and actual help isn't, it's hard to get tips and help when the conversation ebbs and flows. I stop and I start, and I take shortcuts that it's like, oh, but don't do it this way, because it's like makes for fun viewing. It doesn't, and I do think there's a couple of people that have said that they picked up some fun tips from me. So that's fine, but I just don't know if I'm in a sewing group and people are talking about quilt as you go all the time, and none of them are doing it the way I do it. There is this system where you make a block and then you trim everything and get it nice and square. Then you slide the two pieces together and then you sew a piece on the top and the bottom or something. And it looks incredible. Okay, it looks incredibly complicated, but it is a way to make giant quilts. You can make a really big quilt out of it without having to go to long armors and stuff. Actually, no, I think they still have to go to, no, the quilt, the batting's already in it. Yeah, so it's done when it's done. I'm just looking at their methods, and it's like their methods. Okay. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna shit on what they're doing or how they're doing it. But like I said, they take two of these, they push them together until they're touching, and then they use what's called sashing to sew them together. Right? But from what I'm seeing of how sashing and all that stuff works, you really have to be looking at precision. There's no whack 'em stack 'em way to make. I'm not seeing anybody else doing a whack 'em stack 'em process like this to get a big quilt. And I think if you're more concerned about getting a finished quilt than getting a perfect quilt, then this can be a really good. Then this makes it easy. And like depending on how you blend, depending on how you do your colors and stuff, like nobody's gonna see this. Look at the back of this. Look at the back of that. Like you can see the lines, and you can see that there's a double line. Actually, you can't really see it. Yeah, you can see the double line there, because that's where the two pieces are put together, right? Yeah, so sashing to me seems like you have to be committed to a higher level of precision. And absolutely absolutely 1000% respect the people who do their quilting that way, but it certainly isn't a good match for my level of patience. It isn't. It's not an insult. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm like, I am absolutely happy with the results that I get. I don't mind if things aren't perfect. Yada yada yada. And okay, that one's already done. I'm just readjusting my pins now instead of waiting. I'm just lazy. I'm lazy about the safety pins. That's all. I'm not. If you're looking to do this properly, then you're going to want as many pins. The quilting pins. Cover the whole thing in pins if that's what you need to do. Right. I don't mind if it shifts around, because I kind of really enjoy the rustic look. I really do. It's not, I've learned to live with it. I actually like it. So, and so does Lisa. But I can get a quilt. I can get a quilt done. If I'm not dicking around, I can get a quilt done in about a week if I'm not. I shouldn't say that. I should, if I have a bunch of 10-inch squares, it doesn't matter what kind of designs or patterns are on the 10-inch squares. Once I have a stack of 10-inch squares, so if I want to invest 40 hours making a really decorative square, right? Once I decide what I want for my squares, I can take 10-inch squares and put them together in a king size quilt in like 20, 30 hours. And that's not pushing myself. Well, maybe that is. I don't know. It depends on what I'm after. The fastest I've ever made a quilt is 3.5 hours. And that was also using a quilt as you go method. I did 4 30 by 30 inch pieces, put them together into a Bridget's cross. But no, I think I think the kind of quilt as you go that uses sashing requires. I know I can do it, but it requires more patience than I'm willing to put into it. And like I could hold this up. I could hold this up with a ruler and show you exactly where stuff is narrower and closer. I could definitely show you that these are not perfectly straight lines. But if I wanted to get the seam gauge out and measure, I could. You can do this perfectly if you really want to. It's all about how fast you're trying to go and how many pins you want to use. There. Section 5, this one's done. So I gotta try not to run over my dog. So we are that wide. And that's gonna go on. Well, okay. This and the other one are identical. So one's going on the top, one's going on the bottom. And then once these are attached using the exact same system, all I have to, I can't leave that there. I can't leave that there because I got to drag over my next. No, actually, I can leave that there. Once these are done, once this is done, I'm going to have 1.5 inch all the way around the outside. And all I'm doing, I'm not adding binding. All I'm doing for the binding is just the exact same thing, only with just doing one side. I'm going to do self-binding all the way around the outside and then it's done. It's kind of funny because people talk about binding being one of the most tedious. People talk about binding being one of the slowest, most tedious parts of putting a quilt together. And because I do self-binding, it just goes boop and it's done really fast. That's why I'm trimming this as I go. If I had these 100% sorted out into a system where I knew exactly where these were going, I might leave what I know to be the outside edge completely alone until I'm done. But anyway, I'm babbling. I digress. Actually, I'm not babbling. Did we actually have a subject today? I don't think we have anything that even remotely resembles a subject. That's probably why I'm babbling so much. But yeah, I think I want to do like a 3x3 or something. I don't have to invest in anything super intense. And the smaller it is, the more easy it is to spot mistakes. I really is. The smaller your pieces are, like some of these are drifting, whatever. They're not drifting in any serious way that you're going to notice. But if you were to get them, you're not going to notice a mistake. If this starts off at 2 inches and then goes down to 1.5 inches, so it just goes, you're less likely to notice on a bigger piece than a smaller piece. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing smaller pieces, I cut these at 1 inch. But it is what it is. Anyway. No, so let me see. So our neighbor, our 2 buildings in the neighborhood got broken into last night. Very weird circumstance. Suspected it was I suspect. Nobody else is saying it. I'm the only one saying it. I will just point that out right now. But it seems so strange and so weird on the timing. This is generally speaking a safe neighborhood. If you leave something laying around, somebody might nobody's coming up onto the balcony to steal stuff. But if you're on a ground floor unit and you leave something outside, maybe somebody wandering by might spot it and come and take it. But we're not getting assaults. Nobody's assaulting anybody around here. We're not getting break-ins. It's 2 in one night. 2 in one night, and it's weird. So there's that. Oh, let's so I just what I did when I was doing this is I got everything sized up and I just put the safety pin in without trying too hard. So anything that's a little bit off, I'm just going to take it out, smooth it, and put it back in. While I have these out. Oh, there it is. It was there, just sitting in a funny angle. So I'm just doing every 5 inches. So now I have 5, 10, 15. Because these are going to be sewn down once this is put on. So that's it's every 5. Lisa wants it to be as fluffy as possible, so that's what we're doing with that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, if this was right in Vancouver, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's kind of funny. Like I said, we don't really have, Canada doesn't really have a crime problem, but for the most part it's junkies looking for an opportunity. That's the kind of crime that we have. We don't tend to have a lot of we may have some gang violence from time to time, but we don't. It's not worth it to try and break it. It's not worth it to try and break in to the parkade of a building that's only got 30 fucking units in it. That's not. They're gonna want to be in over there where they got like 3 or 4 floors. But I don't think I've ever had a break-in happen near. My childhood best friend did. Her house was broken into once. We actually found her stolen items in a thrift store. Wow. Yeah. No, Vancouver actually has a pretty significant addiction problem. So we get a lot of the crimes of opportunity that go along with that. People just looking for something they can sell for $5 to get drugs. But that is, for the most part, a Vancouver. I can't say mostly Vancouver, but these are people that just want to get high. They don't want to fuck with you. They're not. But then again, you know what? We lived in, like I said, we lived in a co-op in Vancouver, and kids in the building got a hold of their mom's garage key. And we're down there just treating it like their own personal shopping. But I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about where you are. Like around here, just in Canada in general, like you leave a bicycle sitting around, somebody's taking it. Stuff like that. We do have, that's pretty common. But that's usually, like I said, kids or homeless. I just realized I might as well mark these while I have them out, because I am saving myself. I'm saving myself that 47 seconds down the road. And because the line is a straight line, it doesn't matter where it starts, doesn't matter where it stops. But no, I just think it's a very weird circumstance. I think it's very strange that after all these years of nothing, no problems, no break-ins that I'm aware of, suddenly we have 2 in the same night. And the people that, because let's face it, okay, you're somebody's shitbag kid. So you sneak in across the way. You've stolen your mom's fob. You sneak in across the way, steal a bunch of stuff, run it back over to this garage. But because you're a dumbass kid, you don't realize how to use the fob to get back upstairs. Because the doors in our building will let you leave; they won't let you back in, right? So if you're somebody's kid and you're being incredibly stupid in life, then you see that the parkade next door is open. You go over, you steal a bunch of stuff, you bring it home, you put it in the back of the garage. Then you realize that you're stuck, because maybe you just swiped the fob and forgot to grab a house key. So now you're stuck outside. Because I watched a guy do that just the other day. A guy who's been to this building multiple times before. Like just one of our, not our neighbor's son. So he doesn't live here, but he has a key to get in. I've seen him. He's a nice guy. But he was having trouble getting the door to activate. because he used the fob at the garage to come in through the garage. He came in through the garage because of the way that we're set up. You're climbing 3 flights of stairs to get to the main entry, so people just come in through the garage, right? He used the fob. He got into the garage. Then he got over to the door to the elevator, and he's clicking and couldn't get it to click. He thought something was wrong, and I'm like, no, you actually have to touch it. So if you're mommy's special little boy and you're stealing from the fucking neighbors, but you never noticed how you're supposed to actually use that fob to get into the building, you're going to try and break down the fucking door. Why is that like that? Oh, okay. Sometimes when you're doing these pins, these are special angled pins. Oh yeah, I think it's sometimes with these pins, they're angled. These are quilting safety pins. They're angled because it makes it easier for you to put it in, but every now and again you put it in and it doesn't go all the way through. The only criticism, and it's not a criticism, it's just the way life goes on. The only thing I don't like about using these pins is if you're using it on a bare table, then you can scratch the crap out of your table. But you can do that with regular pins too. La 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 la. No, I just have a really strong feeling that this is somebody, because we've got all sorts in this neighborhood. We got people. There's a private courtyard between the 2 buildings. We have people that come up that don't live here. They just come up and walk their dog. We saw a guy last night walking his fucking husky up here in the courtyard between the 2 buildings. It's like, dude, and as soon as he saw us, he left. It's like, dude, this is private fucking property. What are you doing? People are very weird out here. I don't know. People are weird everywhere, I think. But anyway, no, I think we're gonna alter, and that's something else, is that we don't have cameras in this building. So if it was somebody's special little boy, because if they have cameras and they film somebody walking in with an Amazon box, it's like, okay, well, we found our thief, right? But we don't have a homeless camp or anything like that in this area. We are right near Lougheed SkyTrain Station, which is one of the busier transit hubs in the area. So we do have not a lot, but we do have homeless people coming through this area all the time on their way through. So could have been an opportunity, but I don't think so. My spidey senses are telling me that that whoever it is lives in one or the other of the buildings, or 2 buddies. But no, if you steal your parents, okay, like say, and you can actually compare this to any form of housing. Like say your parents have the doors all set. Say your parents put the deadbolts on every night, except on the door through the garage, and you have the garage door opener, but forgot to grab your door key, right? So this person, I suspect that whoever did this did not know how to use the fob. I don't know. It's like one of those things. You just kind of let it percolate. I let it percolate and see if I come up with a better idea. But I don't want to let it percolate to the point where it becomes a practical, not an intrusive thought. I don't have that. I don't have issues with that sort of thing. But you don't want it to become this thing. You don't want to fixate. You don't want to fix. I think it's mostly for me. It's not fixating. It's boredom. I'm really bored all the time. I'm always bored. That is the disadvantage of not having a day job, is that when you get bored, you get really bored. Mind you, I've had some day jobs that were so boring that down. Okay, 4. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to continue work on these and then maybe drag Lisa on Sunday. I don't know. What do you think, Jenny? What do you think sounds best? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I just need Lisa has to be even if Lisa just sits across the room reading a book. Lisa has to be available because if something starts shifting, okay, if enough weight is pulling this way, it could actually like. I am still playing WoW. I haven't played in a few days. I finished the end game. So now I'm just on bonus content. I'm really they have a one button assist thing. They have a one button assist thing that has been making it a lot of fun for me to try classes that I would never play before. So I'm debating. I haven't played in a couple of weeks now. So I'm debating on either switching over. I'm debating on whether switching over to a new character in a different class. The one button assist, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like when you're playing. No, you've played other video games. You know how it goes. It's like, oh, if you want to do this, first you press the 1 to jump up to this, then you press 1, then 2 to fly, and then if you want to activate this, every single ability has its own button, right? With the one button assist, they rotate automatically, like in battle, right? Because mostly it's about, use this ability, and then while that ability is cooling off, on its cooldown, you use this ability, and blah, 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 blah. So sometimes she is and sometimes she's not. So we'll see. Thing is that I don't have both of these done yet. So she either has to hang around and get one. She either has to help me while I get one put on, and then come back for round 2 later, or stay out of my way and then and then do both at the same time. It's actually, the funny thing is these can sometimes take longer, because if you look at I don't know how to describe this. It's once it clicks, but like when I'm doing the next spot, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, finish. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. They can actually be faster, they can be slower. It just depends. But this just getting this far, I'm close to 80% done of the whole quilt. So we shall see. I think it'll be easier for me. Maybe that's what I need to think about. I need to think about what's easier for me. I think it's going to be easier for me to work on this and get this stuff done. I think it's going to be easier for me to get all this stuff done and then do the big part all at once, because Lisa does know how to sew. She's way less confident than I am because she doesn't do it every day, all day. But she does know how to sew. So it's like, well, wait a second. Now, if I get partway into this and need a break, she can actually take over and do some of the sewing. If we decide that that's either I take a break, or if it's like, well, I just really want to get this done. It's like, well, then can you take over? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when she's home, I guess. That's them. That's done. Okay. And it's 4:35. I don't know. I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose again. Oh, Kleenex! Yay! I really wish I could blow my nose without the honk. That'd be so awesome. Well, if she wants her blanket done tonight, she still has to wait for me to do this. So either way, she's stuck waiting. But it's probably less work overall to get those 2 done, and then boom, boom. I'm also debating now on if I pull this to here. No, if I turn this around and put it here, this whole thing has to turn. So if I turn this around and put it here, then I can move that table to there. I really should think about that. I really do, because if I had this over at the table, right? If I turned everything, if I had this over at the table, then 3 sides of the table are still available for cutting. And then I have like a big central unit. And then everything goes. I don't think it'll line up squarely. I don't think it'll line up the way that I want it to. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to fuck around with that either, though. It's fine. Even if I switch it around, well, I have had this. So my big thing is that every now and again I need to just kind of sit back and take a break, and then I'll just look out the window and whatever, right? But I don't actually need to. What's actually better for me physically is if I get my ass up, even if I just get my ass up, toddle over to my computer, check on messages, whatever, then toddle back. That's probably better for me than staying sitting. Don't know. I'm just thinking of ways. If I empty out this corner, this is my problem too, though, is that like that is so this right here is so convenient. I just lean forward there at all. This is completely optimized. You know what I could also do? No, I can't do that. See, my problem is I can't turn things properly. The fireplace is right there. So the wall goes like this, then like that. If I put the table there, I still have to push it past that corner. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to remember. Okay. A quilt is a quilt, but these king size ones are fucking monsters to move around. They really are. So I was having a bit of trouble with them. I was having a bit of trouble just when I was putting the other pieces on yesterday, was because the entire width of the quilt has to go through a space that from the corner of the machine to here is like that long. It's not a lot of space. If I were to, I can move that. I don't want to, but I can move that. I don't think it would hurt me if I was further back. I don't know. I'm whining now. I've also got a couple of other things that are kind of poorly placed. Ooh, I do so. I have those two. I have a bunch of stuff that I kind of get out. I get it out and then I move it. For fuck's sake! I did so. Okay. I'm like, great. I did all that stuff to prep, and then I forgot to mark this one. And I did, and it's right there. I think what I need to do, I need to optimize for quilting. Oh, you know what? I can't do anything. Okay, this is the this is the situation that we're in right now. We're not 100% sure where Bruno's vision is at. If we make too many big changes, it's going to make the house a maze for him that he might not. Like we realized near the end that Shayla was probably blind enough that she was down to seeing not necessarily just shadows, but not much more than shadows. She wasn't seeing very well. But when we went outside, she only wanted to go just exactly far enough to do her business and come back, which wasn't very far at all. And then in the house, everything was in its place. She knew where everything was inside and out. And we don't know how long she was like that. We have no idea. Because once the arthritis started up, she didn't want to go anywhere. She didn't want to go very far. But we figured that she probably lost most of her functional vision about a year before. And we just never realized it because everything in all of her surroundings were so stable that there was nothing for us to notice. So it's like, if we move too much stuff around, we could really screw up Bruno. I don't know. We've already determined that he's got a little bit of, if he's got some really good light coming in, light and shadow, then he can still tell the difference between some light and shadow in the bad eye, but it's got to be like really bright light and really dark shadow. Anyway, we will figure it out. We will figure out what we're doing. I think once Lisa's home, I will turn off the camera and we will get some food and decide from there. But I got 5 of these to do. If we come back, it probably won't be till, I don't know. I want to finish these first. Now that I've got these part done, I want to finish this section. Uh-oh, devil's advocate. Yeah, and it's this table leg. Here's the problem: is that his biggest issues are things with His biggest issue are things with low light contrast. Like when we open the door to take him outside, he's basically standing in the doorway. He sees the door, which is beige. He sees the corner of the wall, which is beige. And then he sees across, because we're exactly across from our neighbor's door. He sees our neighbor's door, which is also beige. So everything to him is beige, right? He knows where he is and where we're going. But if there's not enough contrast, he seems to be having if there's not enough contrast, he absolutely has trouble on the one side. But then again, he doesn't try to sleep back here. He never tries to sleep back here unless I'm back here too. Like if I were to just turn off the camera and go sit down over there, he might stay here for a little while. But he won't come back and he won't intentionally come back into this area to nap again. If he's sleeping really hard right now, he would stay back until he woke up. But he would not make any effort to come back into this area until I was back sewing again. And most of the time, if I get up for a pee, he ignores me. But once I go into the kitchen or go back over to that couch, he'll follow me. Or he'll either follow me or he'll go back to one of his usual spots. Ooh. How well did he do when your bed was on the floor? Did he bump into it? He did. He did a couple of times. But he's bumping into it at this level now. So he just goes, oh, okay, there it is. Climbs up. He didn't have any problem making the adjustment. I don't know. We'll have to see. We're going to have to see. I don't know. I'm the one that's advocating. And it's funny. I'm the one that's advocating for not moving things around too much. So, and of course, the minute I said, oh, we shouldn't move things around too much, of course, first thing that happens is like, oh, I think we should move this and shift that. And But, okay, if I'm just moving things around, we're not buying stuff. If we move it around and it freaks them out, I can put it all back. And if I do it right, if I do that and move that over, I'm going to have to figure it out. Black electrical tape, though, is a really smart idea. So I have to keep that in mind. Okay, that one's done. 2 left. Here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do. Whoops, see, if you hear a little beep, always check, because I just put it onto a really tight zigzag. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep sewing till Lisa's home. Finish up as much of this as possible, and then maybe we'll come back live on Sunday to get these 2 pieces on. I don't know if, yeah, I don't know. Now I'm overthinking it. Now I'm overthinking it just because I can. There we go. Or depending on where the energy's at, just finish it tonight. I think if I come back, I think if I go live on a Sunday or late evening, though, I don't think anybody will be around. Maybe that's what I'm overthinking. It's like, doesn't matter to me when I do it. It doesn't matter to me when I do it. But what will matter is if I'm determined to have the camera on when I'm doing it, then that's going to be its own thing. Oh, come on. There's nothing going on over here. I was just being clumsy with, finger clumsy. Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing. If we don't finish it tonight, but I want to get these on. And the binding is super easy. The binding is really super easy because everything just crushes into that corner. We don't care. It just like, and just do the edges all the way around. You know what? Maybe that's where I'm getting stuck in my head, because if I just keep going, take a break for dinner, keep going, we can probably, with one good binge, probably have this done tonight. And then I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to get it into the washing machine. We have a really, really big washing machine. That's awesome. Well, we can take it to a laundromat and get it washed there. We have a fairly big washing machine, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get it washed up at home. But and then the dryer, I just dry it enough to take the worst of the. I just dry it enough so that it can be fluffed a little bit, and then I just lay them out to dry. I haven't told Lisa yet, though, because she gets to go back. She gets to go through here and take off all the loose threads when it's done, because there's well, I'll be able to see it if I have really good lighting, but there's not a lot actually, except for like the little tails when you start something new. Most of it's going to be buried. And I am cutting threads as I find them, but black on black on black. It's like, oh my God, if you really, this is a trust exercise. I will tell you right now, if you are planning something big for your very first project, you can start with black, but be sure that you're comfortable. I can't wash one half than the other, because then this will just fray to shit. I wish that I could. But nope, there's no way to do it. What I do is this might end up being fluffier than what we're used to. This is the first quilt that this is okay. This is not the first quilt I've done using this stuff. This is going to be the biggest. I do her. She got two other king size quilts, and I washed them at home. This is just extra puffy, and with that in mind, it may be extra bitchy about going in. We'll find out. I wish there was a way to do I wish there was a way to like seal those edges. Yeah. No, this should go just fine. Basically, the worst case scenario that happens with these, you ever overload a washing machine and then you take something out and then something's been folded and it's got that big mat of freaking it's got that big mat of lint in it. That's about the worst thing that we're risking here is a big mat of lint. And then we'll have to figure that one out. Okay, this is going to go back here so that I don't have to agonize about that. This one's already lined up. See, this is the pitiful, easy way to do it. It's like, oh, you just put them back to back and you do all this stuff. And then when you add the next one, it gets more and more and more awkward. Then you have to finish it off. You can do like one, then two. And there's other ways to do it, but considering the size of these things, you only want one. You want this to be as empty as possible. So you have to agonize. You have to organize it. Now I may have to. What the heck was it? Oh, okay. Whew. That was just regular machine noises. That weird rattling noise. Oh yeah, we're still a little sudsy. You know what I do is I don't really put in a lot of soap. I go really easy on the soap whenever I'm doing this for the first time because I'm always afraid that I'm going to leach black and stuff. So I'll go fairly, because this is the first time it's getting washed. I'll go pretty light on the soap. I'll put in some Oxy. Yeah, re-wad it and then run it another one. We've got a pretty big washing machine. So it holds a lot. We're lucky that way. But it's a standard size dryer. But as long as it's fluffed up enough to be fluffy, and I don't really care about lint. A little bit of lint gets left behind. Whatever. I'm not going to agonize about that. But here's what it is. Anyway. What's going on there? Okay, well then that goes there. Oh, first one. Ooh. Yeah, so that's the only thing I have to worry about. And if it's honestly, if it's too bad, they lined up pretty good. They're not perfect because I didn't measure, but the lines going this way are matching. They're matching enough up. They're matching up enough that at a glance, nobody's going to notice or care. And again, rustico, boho, rustic. We don't care. There we go. So yeah, it doesn't look like I'm doing it. I'm used to doing it. I'm used to doing this to the point where it's quick, but I always take a quick look and make sure things are where I want it to be before I continue. Short little mini inspection. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I have to worry about next. And honestly, like, if I end up having to take it to the laundromat, then I can also just go put it into a big giant triple loader with all the other blankets that I want to wash. I can just, if we end up having to do something like that, I can pretty much take most of them down at the same time, throw it all in a triple loader. because the washing is not the problem. It's the drying. It's getting those big wads of lint when you dry. If there's too much stuff in the dryer, those big wads of lint end up happening. And I don't think we have to worry too much about them. Dry hands, dry skin, dry skin. It's a lifesaver though, because the amount of pressure that you have to use to make something, to hold something steady or to feed it through the machine, or the amount of pressure that you have to use, if your hands are dry, if your skin is dry and you're not gripping, you use like way more pressure than you think you do. Because it's funny, ever since I started doing the glove thing, I haven't really had any problems with tennis elbow. Oops, so I've got the tiniest, I got a teeny tiny little pleat here, but that's one nice thing. Once this is washed and dried, you'll never notice it because it's going to get that crinkle effect. If you're ever sewing and you don't want the crinkle effect, just make sure you wash all of your fabric first, and then it'll stay a lot smoother, a lot cleaner looking. Especially if you're going for the okay. If you're making a quilt for a quilt show / contest, then it doesn't matter, because you're not washing those quilts. You're just hanging them up. You're doing a wall hanging, right? If you're making a quilt that you want to use and you don't want that crinkle look, then what you really want to do is wash all your fabric first, because you can. This is. We're going to try. Yes. Oh, yeah. Lisa is 1,000% going to want a good pic of all this stuff glowing. I don't know how we're going to get it to glow. Oh, sorry. I don't know how we're going to get all of it to glow at the same time. Just because once the bed is done, the corners are going to be like bunched. So we'll see how that works. But this should be, you should be able to read by this. It's like yeah, it's a lot of fabric. It's a lot of glow in the dark. But yeah, no, if you do not like the crinkle effect, then wash and dry all your fabric first. If you're doing a wall hanging or something like that, then if you're doing a wall hanging or something like that, and you don't want to have to wash all your fabric first, then just make sure you're dusting it or doing whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you never have to wash it. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could make a quilt just for display. We were talking a little bit about that, about hanging a quilt like that. That right there. That's a hanging on one side, but it's an advent calendar when you flip it over. Hey, Persephone. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think once Lisa's home, we're probably going to do dinner. I got the first set of 5 of these done. I'm doing the second set of 5, but I think my plans have changed, because if I can get both of these sets of 5 done, then I can just do I can just get the rest of this put together later. Either later on tonight or later on this weekend. I can get because I just need Lisa Lisa doesn't have to do any actual sewing. She just has to be there to help make sure that the weight of the fabric isn't fucking things up as it goes forward and off the end, right? But if I keep going until these are done, then when it's time to sit down, I can do that. If I sit her down now, I can only get one side done. If I wait, I can get both sides done. So I think I'm going to end up waiting. My timing is perfect. And then maybe come back. I don't know. We haven't decided yet. Yeah. What did you have for dinner? What did you have for dinner? Did you have something good, or did you have an actual dinner or a Mick dinner? I don't know if we're doing Mick dinner or not. We do Mick dinner way too often. la la la. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can see this right now. It's kind of trying to fall off the end, but there's not enough weight for it to bother me. For it to get in the way. Well, it's not about bothering, it's about getting in the way, right? Okay, that goes there. I don't know why I put that one in the way because I need it right there. I'm just repositioning the safety pins while I can. Hi, Bubby. I don't know what I said. Tofu tacos. Oh, you know what? We've got stuff for coleslaw at home here. Maybe that's what I can do. Maybe once she's home, I can say, "You make dinner." Unless she's actively listening, and it's like, "I brought a bag of dinner." There we go. 2. Next one. Make sure they're both facing the same direction. This step actually matters. Making sure that making sure that everything's facing the same direction actually ends up really mattering if you're doing this is a simple design with only 25 pieces, but it can make a huge difference if you're doing a bigger, more involved project, especially if all of your fabric is directional and you want it to face a specific way. Did you fall? Did you just trip? You okay? What? Wait. I think I've said the L word. I think I've said Beetlejuice one too many times. Nope. No. Ugh. Wait a second. Mayo, lime juice, lime zest, and salt. Oh, nice. And just over a basic cabbage mix? Sounds good. Sounds really good. Sorry, I have a little icon for some reason on the chat window that is just in the exact right spot.
I know.
And there's certain things I can't say. Your dog just started barking at me.
Hi, Bruno. Hey.
Okay, I think we're changing plans.
Oh, where are we at?
We're at really good, but we're gonna want dinner. He wants attention, and I have just a few more of these to go before I'm done. Thank you. Mwah. My shoes.
Yeah, let's see if they fit.
Okay. Teresa says hi.
Hi, say
Everybody
hi.
else says hi.
So not assembling right away?
Well, I've got like 3 more of these to.
Stop it.
He needs a walk.
Do you need to go
He
inside?
just decided that something was happening.
Hi.
He just started a minute ago. Don't let him fool you. He's fine. Oh.
Is it M-I-L-L-E-R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we go to this place called we go to this place called Miller, P-A-R-K, and we didn't take him yesterday.
And he knows it's nice out.
He knows it's nice out.
Hi, buddy.
He thinks he's the king of the park, and he's not. He just kind of walks around going, "Hi, I'm little and I'm lost." But I have a feeling that okay. I want to sew these 2 pieces together. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Not yet, anyway. Why are you guys so off? Anyway, it looks like Bruno has made my decisions for me. Yeah, well, here's the thing. We take him almost every night after work, especially when the weather's nice. So, and he's gotten extremely addicted to his routines lately. I want to get these 2 together since I already have them in my hot little hands and lined up. I don't need to do anything with that. That noise that you just heard was just the safety pin on the bottom dragging across. There's a slight upwards lip right there between the body of the machine and the sewing plate. So nothing bad happened, and not breaking needles. So I think that I think what I'll do is I'll update Lisa. I'm just attaching the third one of the second strip now. If I finish both of these strips, right?
Yeah.
Then when we sit down, we can just do them both at the same time.
Oh, to attach to the main
To
body.
attach to the main one. So doing it now is pointless, but this is probably going to take me another half hour or so.
Okay.
And that's if I'm not dicking around, which I'm always dicking around and just taking my time. So we're definitely going to get this done. I think I was very short-sighted to say that we were going to do it on camera today, which I am sorry, guys. But I'm also thinking that by the time you see me again on Monday or Tuesday, that I might have a revamped sewing area. So we'll see how that's going to look.
Ooh.
Wow, because I'm giving her a really nice big present, which means that she's in a really nice big mood. Means that I can do more.
What are you
I
doing
can get stuff done.
What are you doing to your sewing area?
Well, at least temporarily. If I move a few things around temporarily, then I can be sewing from the machine up onto that table.
Okay.
Which means it's a whole lot. Like even this is trying to pull forward. This isn't heavy enough to bother me at all. But once I have that big, I can't put a king size quilt through this little slot and not have it be work for somebody.
Oh, so you're gonna change your sewing area so you can make more king size quilts?
No. Did you hear that? Oh, so you're gonna change it? Don't forget, I've got a double bed. She's got the king size. So you're gonna do it so that you can make more king size quilts?
I was just playing.
I'm giving this one away. We're gonna do.
No,
a
you're
giveaway.
not.
Hey Jenny, do you want to blanket? What?
I'll lick it. I've done it before. I'll do it again. You will.
Okay. Monster Puppy is being a monster. I just wanted to I had these two mostly lined up before he started, so I wanted to finish that.
I shouldn't have shown him that.
So I am going to set yourself. Yeah, Jenny says you set yourself up for that, Peggy. Did you happen to be paying?
I'm not teaching him things. What?
Did you see what she just did? Yeah, more blankies for Lisa. Well, okay, I'm getting into quilting. Not getting into quilting. I really like quilting. I can't rely on Lisa, but I can't expect her to be there every single time I'm doing a blanket. I'm not doing the shop anymore, so I can reprioritize for optimizing for quilting, and I think that's the best way. But we will see what I end up with. If we have the opportunity to come back, we will. If we don't, I'm sorry that my plan fell through, but that's the nature of doing things live. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. If we have a chance to come back, if we have a chance to live stream the last step, we will. If I don't, we won't. I don't know. We'll definitely be going after photos and trying to get a photo of this fully lit for nighttime use. And Bruno says I have to go. So you guys have a great day. I will see you soon if I can figure out. Where is it? There it is. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, guys. Have a great one. I will see you soon. Bye.